Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you who are calling and writing WWCR. You must continue to call and write, and you must continue until an announcement is made, either that I'm not going to get that spot or I am going to get that spot. If I'm not, it's just like I told you before. And some of you are calling in, and apparently somebody named Dennis at WWCR, and maybe someone else, is not telling you the truth. What I told you the other night is absolutely the truth. For the last 4 years, I have been asking WWCR for an earlier time slot. Unbelievably, even though people come and go on the different frequencies all the time, they have never been able to find an earlier time slot for the hour of the time. And I'm now finding out that it is intentional. Because at the same time, for those same 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, for all of those 4 years, I told Adam Locke and George McClintock that if Tom Valentine ever went off the air for whatever reason, and I never wished it on him ever, I would not do that, I believe in free speech, folks, but if he ever left the air for any reason, that I wanted those 2 hours that he has traditionally held. And I was told that if Tom Valentine ever left the air, I would be the first one that they would call to take that time slot. Well, Tom Valentine has announced his retirement, ladies and gentlemen. And when he announced his retirement, I tried to get that time slot, and George McClintock told me, with no reservations whatsoever, that the hour of the time is too controversial to put on at an earlier time slot, that I definitely could not have that time slot under any circumstances, and that that radio audience was more conservative. How in the world could anybody be more conservative than the hour of the time? Anyway, it's a bullshit answer, and it's a lie. Simply because of this, ladies and gentlemen, I may be on at midnight on the East Coast, but I'm on at 9 p.m. on the West Coast. So the allegation that that earlier time slot belongs to a more conservative audience, or an audience that can't handle the hour of the time, just simply cannot be true. It isn't true. You see, because while I'm on at midnight right now on the East Coast, I'm on at 11 Central, 10 Mountain, and 9 Pacific time. So if I were to go on 2 hours earlier, ladies and gentlemen, I would be on at 10 Eastern. Now tell me, is the 10 Eastern audience more conservative than the 9 Pacific audience? I don't think so. And if you want to make somebody mad, just get liberals listening to this broadcast, which is what makes up most of the West Coast. The People's Republic of California, have you ever heard of it? So George McClintock, you're way off base. You're trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, but you can't hoodwink me, and I don't care how angry you get. I don't even care if you throw me off the air. I've already given you notice. You see, any broadcasting station that will take my premium top dollar that I've been paying for this spot for the last 4 years and make all the promises and tell me all the things that you people have told me, and then do this, does not warrant loyalty from me or from my broadcast, and I mean it. If I don't get those 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen, I am finished with WWCR. I'm already talking to other people. I'm talking to a couple of networks. I'm talking to other broadcasting stations. And if worse comes to worse, I'll just broadcast on satellite. That's where I started, and that may be where I end up, and I really don't care. The word will get out. And I still have Veritas, the newspaper. I'm still an excellent writer, and I can still troop this country and speak from every stump that I can find. So, if you want me in those 2 hours that have been vacated by Tom Valentine, you need to write WWCR. And don't stop writing. And if you haven't written yet, write. And keep writing. And keep calling until they understand. what their audience really wants and who their audience really is. This broadcast has the largest shortwave audience in the entire world, bar none. And any audience that big deserves to have this broadcast at an earlier time slot where the audience can better take advantage of the information, the documentation, and the sources that we give out on the hour of the time, especially on the East Coast. Because of our broadcast time on the East Coast, a lot of people never hear this broadcast, and that may be the real intent of the management of WWCR. Here's the address, WWCR, 1300 WWCR Avenue, Nashville, Tennessee, 37218, USA. That's WWCR, 1300 WWCR Avenue, Nashville, Tennessee, 37218. One problem with this, folks, is that the communists in this country are putting pressure on WWCR to keep me at a late time. And there's a lot of pressure not even to have me on the air, I can assure you, and that always occurs and always has occurred. Also, the communists at the United Nations Broadcasting Radio Show, the Communists for Peace International, Radio for Peace International, or is it really Communists for Peace International? Anyway, they're the biggest bunch of bullshit, lying, two-faced, scum-sucking pigs that I've ever heard in my life. They started a few weeks ago a write-in campaign to WWCR to get this broadcast off the air. Most of you don't know about that. So you're going to have to write, and you're going to have to make your wishes known, and you're going to have to come up with more letters and more reasons and more people than the bullshit artists from the communist propaganda portions of the United States of America. If you want to continue to hear the truth, if you want to continue to hear it documented and sourced, if you want to get the real facts, if you want to get the real news from this broadcast, the hour of the time, then you're going to have to get off your lazy butt, and you're going to have to write a letter. And you're going to have to write another letter, and another letter, and another letter, until you make people understand that they need to listen to you. So do it. WWCR, 1300 WWCR Avenue, Nashville, Tennessee, 37218. That's WWCR, 1300 WWCR Avenue, Nashville, Tennessee, 37218. Do it. Ladies and gentlemen, just trust in God and do it. That's the way I live my life. Okay. Also, I don't know who this Dennis guy is or why he's telling you that I didn't talk to Adam or that George McClintock did not tell me no, but that's just a barefaced lie. George McClintock told me no on the telephone right before he went on vacation to my face through the telephone. He said, no, you cannot have that time slot for the reasons that I've already given you, folks. I then talked to Adam Locke a little bit later, and that was a little over a week ago. And I told Adam Locke, you have 30 days notice. 30 days notice. If I don't get that time slot, this broadcast is off WWCR. History. Somebody at WWCR named Dennis is denying all this. Well, you can deny it all you want to, Dennis. It happens to be the truth. I don't tell lies. All you get on this broadcast is the truth. Ladies and gentlemen,